Chosen ones, your dangerous power must be awake and active. Activate it now. Listen. That stirring in your chest, that fire flickering deep within your soul, it's not random. It's not your imagination playing tricks in the quiet of this moment. It's the sound of a dangerous power awakening. A power so potent, so divinely charged, that the very forces of darkness tremble at its stirring. You didn't stumble upon this message. Heaven hunted you down. Right now, as the world spins in chaos and billions sleep through their ordinary lives, God has pressed pause on the noise to speak directly to you. This is no coincidence. This is divine alignment. Your dangerous power, the one etched into your spirit before the stars were hung, is ready to break free. But here's the truth that will shake you to your core. This power doesn't activate itself. It demands your response. It demands your courage. It demands you act before the clock of this sacred moment runs out. Picture a lion, caged for years, pacing behind iron bars. Its muscles ripple with untapped strength, its roar muffled but never silenced. That lion is you, chosen one. For too long, the world has tried to tame you, to convince you your strength is too much, your purpose too big, your calling too dangerous. You've felt it, haven't you? The weight of dreams too heavy for ordinary shoulders, the ache of a destiny that refuses to let you settle for less. You've carried burdens others couldn't see, weathered storms that should have broken you, and stood tall when everything around you crumbled. Why? Because you were never meant to blend in. You were forged in the fire of divine purpose, shaped to carry a power so explosive it could shift nations, heal generations, and rewrite history. But that power remains dormant until you choose to unleash it. Let me ask you something that might make your heart race. What if the reason you've felt restless all your life isn't because you're lacking, but because you're loaded with a purpose so massive it scares even you? What if every tear you've cried, every door that slammed shut, every moment you felt invisible, wasn't punishment, but preparation? Jeremiah 1:5 declares, "Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I set you apart." God didn't just create you, He designed you with precision, wiring you with a dangerous power meant to disrupt the status quo, to break chains, to light up the darkness. But here's the chilling reality: a power unactivated is a destiny unfulfilled. The enemy doesn't fear your potential, he fears your activation. And right now, he's working overtime to keep you distracted, doubting, and delayed. Close your eyes for a moment and picture this. A scroll unfurling in the courts of heaven, your name written in golden ink, glowing with divine authority. This scroll isn't a suggestion, it's a decree, a blueprint of your dangerous power, penned before time began. But there's a signature missing, yours. Heaven is waiting, angels are poised, and the spiritual realm is electric with anticipation. Will you sign your name to this calling? Or will you let fear rewrite your story? The choice is yours, but the clock is ticking. This moment, this divine interruption, is your invitation to step into a power so radiant, it will blind the forces that have held you back. You've been through the fire, haven't you? Rejection that cut deeper than a knife, financial struggles that kept you awake at night, moments of loneliness so heavy you wondered if God had forgotten your name. Let me tell you something that will shift how you see every scar on your soul. Those weren't random blows, they were divine chisels, carving you into a vessel capable of carrying this dangerous power. Every closed door wasn't denial, it was redirection. Every unanswered prayer wasn't silence, it was God whispering, "I'm preparing you for something greater." Think about Joseph, thrown into a pit by his own brothers, sold into slavery, locked in a prison for a crime he didn't commit. 13 years of what looked like abandonment, but every moment was forging him into Egypt's deliverer. Your pain hasn't been pointless, it's been purposeful. You weren't broken, you were built differently. Consider Sarah, who waited decades for a promise that seemed impossible. At 90, the world laughed at her barrenness, but God saw a mother of nations. Or think of Harriet Tubman, a woman marked by trauma, plagued by seizures, yet guided by divine visions to lead 300 souls to freedom. The world saw weakness. God saw a warrior. Your struggles, your setbacks, your sleepless nights, they're not evidence of your defeat. They're proof of your destiny. The intensity of your battles reveals the magnitude of your calling. The enemy doesn't attack what's insignificant. He targets what's dangerous. And you, chosen one, are a threat to every plan he's ever made. Right now, as you listen to these words, something is shifting in the spiritual realm. Can you feel it? That quickening in your spirit, that electricity in the air. It's not anxiety, it's awakening. It's the Holy Spirit stirring the dangerous power within you, whispering, "Now is the time." Psalm 139:16 says, "Your eyes saw my unformed body. All the days ordained for me were written in your book before one of them came to be." Every moment of your life has been leading to this one. Every tear has been collected, every prayer recorded, every dream planted, like a seed waiting for this season to bloom. But here's the urgency. This season won't last forever. The window of your divine moment is open, but it's not guaranteed to stay that way. Let me share a story that might hit close to home. In a small town in Ohio, a woman named Clara sat in her living room, scrolling through her phone, feeling like her life had passed her by. At 52, she'd buried dreams of starting a community center for struggling teens, convinced she was too old, too broke, too ordinary. But one night, a message like this one crossed her screen, igniting something she couldn't ignore. She didn't have a plan, but she had a spark. She wrote down one goal: contact her old church about using their basement for a youth program. Within a week, she rallied 3 volunteers. Within a month, they had 10 kids showing up. Today, Clara's center serves over 100 teens, giving them hope she once thought was lost. Clara didn't wait for perfection. She activated her power with one small step. What's your step, chosen one? What's the one action you've been delaying because fear told you it's too big? Here's where this gets practical. Because your dangerous power isn't just a feeling, it's a force that demands action. To awaken and activate it, you don't need a miracle to fall from the sky. You need to move with the faith God has already given you. Let's break this down into 3 specific steps you can take today to step into your divine moment. First, write down one goal that's been burning in your heart. It could be starting that business, forgiving that person, or taking that class you've been putting off. Put it on paper, make it real. Second, reach out to one person who needs your light. Maybe it's a friend you haven't spoken to in years, or a family member you need to forgive. Send that text, make that call, start that conversation today. Third, take one tangible step toward your dream. If you're called to write, type the first sentence. If you're called to serve, volunteer for 1 hour this week. These steps aren't just tasks. They're declarations to heaven that you're ready to activate your dangerous power. If this message is stirring something deep within you, don't keep it to yourself. Type, "I am awakening my dangerous power" in the comments below. Your declaration isn't just words. It's a spiritual contract, a signal to heaven that you're ready to move. When you comment, you're joining thousands of chosen ones who are stepping into their divine moment. Share this video with someone who needs to hear it, because your courage could be the spark that ignites their destiny. Let's talk about fear, because it's the phantom guard standing between you and your power. Fear doesn't announce itself with a roar. It creeps in like a shadow, whispering lies that you're not enough, that you're too late, that you'll fail. But here's the truth that will shatter those lies. Fear only has the power you give it. 2 Timothy 1:7 declares, "For God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind." That fear you feel, it's not from God. It's a counterfeit, a cheap imitation designed to keep your dangerous power locked away. Think about David facing Goliath. Do you think his hands weren't shaking as he picked up those stones? Or Esther risking her life to approach the king? Do you think her heart wasn't pounding? Courage isn't the absence of fear, it's the decision to act in spite of it. Let me paint a picture for you. Imagine standing before a radiant door, carved with your name in celestial gold, glowing with the promise of everything God has spoken over you. There's no lock, no chain, no barrier, except the one in your mind. Fear has convinced you to install your own prison, but today we're tearing it down. Your dangerous power isn't just for you. It's for the lives you're called to touch, the chains you're meant to break, the darkness you're destined to dispel. Every time you felt overwhelmed by the weight of the world, you weren't just carrying your own burdens. You were absorbing the pain of generations, breaking curses that have haunted your bloodline for decades. Isaiah 61:4 says, "They will rebuild the ancient ruins and restore the places long devastated." That's you, chosen one. You're not just living your life. You're rebuilding what was broken before you were born. Let's talk about John, a man from Atlanta who felt called to start a ministry for recovering addicts. For years he hesitated, paralyzed by the fear of failure. What if no one shows up? What if I'm not spiritual enough? But one day he took a step. He called a local shelter and offered to lead a weekly Bible study. That small act of faith grew into a ministry that's now helped over 500 people find freedom from addiction. John's fear didn't vanish, but his obedience outshined it. Your power works the same way. It's not about feeling ready, it's about moving forward with the faith God has already placed in you. Right now, the spiritual realm is buzzing with activity. Angels are leaning in, scrolls are unfurling, and the enemy is panicking because he knows your awakening threatens his plans. Your dangerous power isn't just a gift, it's a weapon, forged in the fires of your trials, sharpened by your faith. But it's not enough to know it exists. You have to activate it. Romans 8:19 says, "The creation waits in eager expectation for the children of God to be revealed." Creation isn't waiting for your perfection. It's waiting for your action. That business idea burning in your heart, it's not just a dream. It's a divine strategy. That person you need to forgive, that conversation is a key to unlocking generational healing. That step you've been delaying, it's the spark that ignites your dangerous power. If this is resonating with your spirit, don't let it fade. Type, "I am awakening my dangerous power" in the comments below. Your words are a declaration, a signal to the spiritual realm that you're stepping into your divine moment. And don't stop there. Hit that like button and join thousands of chosen souls by subscribing to stay connected to your divine purpose. Your engagement isn't just for you, it's a beacon for others who are still searching for their moment. Let's go deeper, because this dangerous power isn't just about what you do. It's about who you become. The world has tried to label you with names that don't fit: failure, forgotten, insignificant. But heaven has a different name for you, written in the Lamb's Book of Life. Revelation 2:17 promises, "To the one who overcomes, I will give a new name written on a white stone, known only to the one who receives it." That name isn't just a title. It's your true identity, your divine DNA. You're not defined by your past mistakes or the world's rejection. You're defined by God's purpose, etched into your spirit before time began. Think about Jacob, who wrestled with an angel all night. His name meant deceiver, a label that followed him for years. But after that midnight struggle, God renamed him Israel, one who prevails with God. Your struggles are renaming you, chosen one. Every battle is stripping away the false labels and revealing the warrior you were always meant to be. You're not too old, too broken, or too late. You're seasoned, restored, and perfectly timed for this moment. Your dangerous power is tied to this new name, this new identity that only obedience can unlock. Let's talk about Maria, a single mother from Chicago who felt called to teach children in her community. For years, she doubted herself. Too busy, too tired, too unqualified. But one day she took a step. She started a free after-school program in her apartment, teaching math to 5 kids. That small act of faith grew into a tutoring center that now serves dozens of families. Maria didn't have all the answers, but she had a spark of faith that activated her power. Your spark is waiting too. Those 3 steps, writing your goal, reaching out to someone, taking one tangible action, they're not just tasks. They're the keys to unlocking the door of your destiny. The enemy wants you to believe your power is too dangerous, too big, too much for you to handle. He's wrong. Your power is dangerous, not to you, but to the forces that want to keep you small. Ephesians 3:20 says, "Now to him who is able to do immeasurably more than all we ask or imagine, according to his power that is at work within us." That power is already in you, chosen one. It's not waiting for a better day or a clearer sign. It's waiting for your yes, your action, your faith to bring it to life. As we stand at this sacred threshold, I can feel the atmosphere shifting. The air is thick with divine possibility, like the moment before a storm breaks. Your dangerous power is stirring, ready to burst forth like a river breaking through a dam. But it's not enough to feel it, you have to move. Those 3 steps, writing your goal, reaching out, taking action, are your declaration to heaven that you're ready. Don't add more steps. Don't overthink it. Act on what God has already shown you. Your power isn't in your perfection, it's in your obedience. If this message is igniting a fire in your spirit, type, "I am awakening my dangerous power" in the comments below. Your words are a battle cry, a signal to the spiritual realm that you're claiming your divine moment. Share this video with someone who needs to know their power is waiting to be unleashed. And if you haven't already, subscribe to stay connected to this community of chosen ones, walking together toward our divine purpose. Let's talk about hope, because it's the fuel that keeps your dangerous power burning. The world has taught you that hope is weak, a fragile wish that crumbles under pressure, but biblical hope is a fortress, a thunderous declaration of what's already been decreed in heaven. Hebrews 11:1 says, "Now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen." Hope isn't wishful thinking. It's the compass that points you to your destiny. When Abraham hoped for a son in his old age, it wasn't a maybe, it was a certainty sealed by God's promise. Your hope is the same. It's not about what might happen. It's about what God has already spoken. But hope without action is just a dream. Think about Noah, building an ark when there wasn't a cloud in the sky. His hope wasn't passive. It was a hammer in his hand, driving nails into wood. Your dangerous power works the same way. It's not enough to hope for change. You have to act on it. That goal you wrote down? It's your ark. That person you reached out to? It's your bridge to healing. That step you took? It's the spark that ignites your destiny. Don't let hope sit idle. Let it move you, propel you, push you through the door of your divine moment. Right now, the spiritual realm is alive with activity. Angels are moving, scrolls are opening, and the enemy is scrambling because he knows your dangerous power is waking up. You're not just a bystander in God's plan. You're a warrior, a trailblazer, a chain breaker. Your power isn't just for you. It's for the generations waiting for your obedience, the lives waiting for your testimony, the world waiting for your light. But it all hinges on this moment, this choice, this step. If this is resonating with you, don't hold back. Type "I am awakening my dangerous power" in the comments below. Your declaration is a weapon, a signal to heaven that you're ready to step into your divine moment. Share this video with someone who needs to hear it, because your courage could be their catalyst. And join thousands of chosen souls by subscribing to Stay Connected to Your Divine Purpose. Let's dive deeper into the heart of your dangerous power, because this isn't just about awakening it. It's about wielding it with precision, like a sword forged in heaven's fire. Picture a battlefield at dawn, the air heavy with the promise of victory. You stand at the center, not as a bystander, but as a warrior clothed in divine authority. The ground beneath your feet trembles, not from fear, but from the weight of the purpose you carry. This is no ordinary fight. This is the moment where your dangerous power becomes a beacon, a force that doesn't just change your life, but reshapes the destinies of those around you. The question isn't whether you have this power. It's whether you'll dare to use it to its fullest, to step into the role God has been preparing you for since before the world began. You've felt it, haven't you? That sense that your life is meant for more than the ordinary, that your struggles have been building towards something extraordinary. It's like a melody playing softly in your soul, a song only you can hear, urging you to rise, to act, to become. That melody is the rhythm of your divine purpose, and it's been there all along, woven into the fabric of your existence. Ephesians 2:10 says, "For we are God's handiwork, created in Christ Jesus to do good works, which God prepared in advance for us to do." You weren't created to drift through life, settling for scraps of joy or fleeting moments of peace. You were crafted with intention, designed to carry a power so dangerous it threatens every lie the enemy has ever told you. Let's talk about the lies, because they're the chains that have kept your power dormant for too long. The world has whispered that you're too small, too flawed, too insignificant to make a difference. It's told you that your mistakes define you, that your past disqualifies you, that your dreams are too big for someone like you. But those lies are crumbling now, because the truth is breaking through, like sunlight piercing a storm. Your dangerous power isn't limited by your past, it's fueled by it. Every misstep, every heartbreak, every moment you thought you'd never recover from has been transformed into the raw material of your testimony. Like gold refined in fire, your trials have made you stronger, purer, ready to shine with a radiance that can't be ignored. Think about Paul, once called Saul, a man who hunted Christians with zeal, believing he was doing God's work. His hands were stained with the blood of martyrs, his heart hardened by pride. Yet on the road to Damascus, a blinding light stopped him in his tracks, and God rewrote his story. Saul the persecutor became Paul the apostle, penning letters that would shape the faith of billions. His past didn't disqualify him. Your past works the same way, chosen one. That mistake you can't forgive yourself for? It's the foundation of your compassion. That failure you're ashamed of? It's the seed of your resilience. Your dangerous power isn't despite your story, it's because of it. Let me share a story that might resonate. In a coastal town in Oregon, A man named Daniel carried the weight of a fractured family. At 45, he'd spent years estranged from his daughter, blaming himself for the divorce that tore them apart. He felt called to reconcile, to rebuild what was broken, but shame kept him silent. One evening, a message like this one stirred something in him. He remembered the second step we talked about, reaching out to someone who needs your light. With trembling hands, he sent his daughter a simple text. "I miss you. Can we talk?" That message opened a door. Today, Daniel and his daughter meet weekly for coffee, healing wounds that once seemed permanent. Daniel's dangerous power wasn't in erasing his past. It was in using it to build a bridge to his future. What bridge are you being called to build, chosen one? Who is waiting for your courage to change their story? Your dangerous power is like a river, mighty and untamed, but it needs a channel to flow through. Those 3 steps: writing your goal, reaching out to someone, taking one tangible action, are the channels that direct your power into the world. They're not just tasks, they're acts of faith, declarations that you're ready to live the life God designed for you. Don't overcomplicate it. Your power doesn't need a perfect plan. It needs a willing heart. When you wrote that goal, you planted a seed in heaven's soil. When you reached out to someone, you broke a chain of isolation. When you took that step, you ignited a spark that could set the world ablaze. These steps are your response to God's call, your signature on the scroll of your destiny. If this message is setting your spirit on fire, don't keep it to yourself. Type "My power is active now" in the comments below. Your words are a battle cry, a signal to heaven that you're not just hearing this message, you're living it. When you comment, you're joining a community of chosen ones, each stepping into their divine moment, each wielding a power that shakes the foundations of darkness. Share this video with someone who needs to know their power is waiting to be unleashed, because your courage could be the key that unlocks their destiny. Let's talk about legacy, because your dangerous power isn't just for today, it's for the generations that will follow you. You're not just living for yourself, you're a link in a chain that stretches across time. A bridge between what was and what will be. Every choice you make, every step you take, sends ripples into eternity. Proverbs 13:22 says, "A good person leaves an inheritance for their children's children." This isn't just about money. It's about the spiritual inheritance you leave behind. The courage you show today becomes the faith your children walk in tomorrow. The chains you break now become the freedom your grandchildren inherit. Your dangerous power is a legacy, a flame that lights the path for those who come after you. Picture this: a tree, its roots deep in the earth, its branches stretching toward the sky. That tree is you, chosen one. Your roots are the struggles you've overcome, the prayers you've whispered, the faith you've held on to in the darkest nights. Your branches are the lives you'll touch, the dreams you'll birth, the impact you'll have on a world desperate for hope. But a tree doesn't grow by standing still. It grows by reaching, by stretching, by daring to expand beyond its current form. Your dangerous power works the same way. It grows when you act, when you trust, when you refuse to let fear dictate your limits. Let me tell you about Esther, not the biblical queen, but a woman from Houston who felt called to advocate for foster children. At 30, she was a paralegal, overworked and underpaid, with no connections in the system. But she couldn't shake the vision of giving kids a voice. She took a step. She enrolled in a night class on child welfare law. That small action led to a job with a non-profit, then to her founding an organization that's now helped over 200 kids find permanent home. Esther's dangerous power wasn't in her resources. It was in her refusal to stay small. Your power is the same. It's not about what you have. It's about what you do with what God has given you. The enemy hates your legacy. He knows that when you activate your dangerous power, you don't just change your life, you change the trajectory of everyone connected to you. That's why the resistance has been so fierce, why the doubts have been so loud, why the distractions have been so relentless. But here's the truth that will set you free. The enemy's attacks are proof of your power. If you were insignificant, he wouldn't bother. If your destiny didn't threaten his plans, he'd leave you alone. The intensity of your battles is a testament to the magnitude of your calling. You're not fighting for scraps. You're fighting for a legacy that will outlive you, a purpose that will echo through eternity. Right now, the spiritual realm is alive with anticipation. Angels are gathering, scrolls are being readied, and the courts of heaven are resounding with your name. This isn't just another day, this is the day your dangerous power begins to flow, not as a trickle but as a flood. Isaiah 61 declares, "Arise, shine, for your light has come, and the glory of the Lord rises upon you." Your light isn't a candle, it's a blaze, a radiance that pierces the darkness and draws others to the truth. But light doesn't shine by hiding, it shines by being seen, by being bold, by being active. Let's talk about boldness, because it's the spark that ignites your dangerous power. Boldness isn't arrogance. It's obedience in the face of uncertainty. It's the courage to act when the outcome isn't guaranteed, to speak when silence feels safer, to move when standing still seems wiser. Think about Peter stepping out of the boat onto raging waves. The storm didn't calm before he walked. The waves didn't part before his feet touched the water. His boldness activated his miracle. Your dangerous power works the same way. It's not waiting for perfect conditions. It's waiting for your bold yes, your unwavering commitment to the call God has placed on your life. If this message is stirring your soul, don't hold back. Type, "My power is active now," in the comments below. Your declaration is a signal to heaven, a vow that you're stepping into your divine moment with boldness and faith. Share this video with someone who needs to hear it, because your boldness could be the catalyst that awakens their power. And if you haven't already, join thousands of chosen souls by subscribing to Stay Connected to Your Divine Purpose. Your engagement isn't just for you, it's a lifeline for others searching for their moment. Your dangerous power is like a seed planted deep in your spirit, waiting for the right conditions to burst forth. Those conditions aren't external, they're internal. They're the faith you cultivate, the boldness you embrace, the steps you take, the 3 steps we've talked about: writing your goal, reaching out, taking action, are the water and sunlight that bring your seed to life. Don't add more steps. Don't wait for a clearer sign. Act on what God has already shown you. Your power isn't in your perfection, it's in your persistence. Your willingness to keep moving forward even when the path isn't fully lit. Let's talk about impact, because your dangerous power isn't just about personal transformation, it's about world-changing influence. You're not called to live a small life, tucked away in the corners of comfort. You're called to be a force, a catalyst, a light that shifts atmospheres and breaks strongholds. Think about Nehemiah, who saw the ruins of Jerusalem's walls and felt a burden too big for one man. He didn't have an army or a fortune, but he had a vision and a prayer. He rebuilt the walls in 52 days, defying every obstacle. Your dangerous power is your Nehemiah moment, a call to rebuild what's broken, to restore what's been lost, to leave a mark that can't be erased. Consider Leela, a teacher from Miami who felt called to mentor at-risk youth. At 60, she thought her best years were behind her, but one day she took a step. She volunteered to lead a writing workshop at a local community center. That workshop grew into a program that's now empowered over 100 kids to graduate high school and pursue their dreams. Leela's dangerous power wasn't in her age or resources. It was in her willingness to act on the vision God gave her. Your power works the same way. It's not about what you lack. It's about what you do with what you have. The world is waiting for your impact, chosen one. The lives you're called to touch, the dreams you're meant to birth, the legacy you're destined to leave. They're all on the other side of your obedience. Your dangerous power isn't just a gift, it's a responsibility. A divine mandate to be the answer to someone's prayer, the solution to someone's problem, the miracle someone's been waiting for. But it all hinges on this moment, this choice, this act of faith. Your dangerous power is stirring, chosen one, like a storm gathering strength on the horizon. It's not a quiet whisper anymore. It's a roar, demanding to be heard, felt, and unleashed. This power isn't just about changing your circumstances. It's about transforming the very atmosphere around you, shifting the spiritual tides that have kept dreams captive and destinies delayed. You're standing at a divine crossroads, where the choices you make today will echo far beyond your lifetime, touching lives you may never meet, breaking chains you may never see, and building a kingdom impact that will stand the test of eternity. The scroll of your purpose is open, glowing with heaven's intent, and the pen is in your hand. Will you write the next chapter with boldness, or will you let this moment slip into the shadows of what could have been? Let's talk about authority, because your dangerous power isn't just a feeling, it's a mantle, a divine commission that clothes you with the right to command change in the spiritual and natural realms. Luke 10:19 declares, "I have given you authority to trample on snakes and scorpions, and to overcome all the power of the enemy. Nothing will harm you." This isn't a metaphor, it's a promise, a heavenly decree that you carry the weight of God's backing. When you speak, heaven listens. When you move, angels align. When you act, the enemy trembles. But authority unused is authority wasted. Your dangerous power requires you to step into this mantle, to stop asking for permission to be who God created you to be, and to start walking in the confidence of your divine assignment. Picture a throne room, vast and radiant, with your name echoing through its golden halls. You're not a visitor here, you're an heir, seated with Christ in heavenly places, as Ephesians 2:6 proclaims. This throne room isn't a distant dream, it's your spiritual reality, the place where your dangerous power originates. Every trial you've faced, every doubt you've overcome, every moment you chose faith over fear has been preparing you to rule from this place of authority. The enemy wants you to believe you're still a beggar, scraping for crumbs of blessing, but God is calling you to rise as a king, a queen, a warrior who commands the resources of heaven to flow into the earth. Let me share a story that might spark something in you. In a small apartment in Detroit, a woman named Tanya struggled with chronic illness, feeling like her life was on hold. At 38, she dreamed of starting a support group for others facing similar battles. But her own pain made her feel unworthy. One night, a message like this one stirred her spirit. She remembered the first step. Writing down a goal, she scribbled, "Start a virtual support group by next month." That simple act led her to post an invitation on a community board. Within weeks, 20 people joined her weekly Zoom calls, finding hope in her vulnerability. Today, Tanya's group has grown to over 100 members, a testament to the authority she claimed by acting on her dangerous power. What authority are you hesitating to claim, chosen one? What impact is waiting for your first step? Your dangerous power isn't abstract, it's tangible, measurable in the lives you touch, the dreams you pursue, the legacy you build. Those 3 steps, writing your goal, reaching out to someone, taking one tangible action, are the keys to unlocking this authority. They're not just practical, they're prophetic, signaling to heaven that you're ready to walk in your mantle. When you wrote that goal, you claimed your right to dream. When you reached out, you claimed your right to connect. When you took that step, you claimed your right to create. These steps are your declaration that you're no longer a spectator in God's plan. You're a participant, a co-creator, a vessel of divine authority. If this message is igniting your spirit, don't keep it quiet. Type "I claim my divine authority" in the comments below. Your words are a proclamation, a vow to heaven that you're stepping into your dangerous power with unwavering resolve. When you comment, you're uniting with thousands of chosen ones, each claiming their mantle, each shifting the spiritual landscape. Share this video with someone who needs to know their authority is waiting to be unleashed, because your boldness could be the spark that changes their story forever. Let's talk about sacrifice. Because your dangerous power isn't free, it comes with a cost, a holy exchange that separates the called from the committed. Jesus said in Matthew 16:24, "Whoever wants to be my disciple must deny themselves and take up their cross and follow me." This isn't about suffering for suffering's sake. It's about laying down what's comfortable to pick up what's eternal. Your dangerous power demands you sacrifice the familiar, the safe, the predictable. It asks you to let go of the lies you've clung to, the excuses you've hidden behind, the smallness you've settled for. But here's the promise. What you sacrifice pales in comparison to what you gain. Picture a seed falling to the ground, small and unassuming. It must die to its current form to become a tree, bearing fruit for generations. That seed is you, chosen one. Your sacrifices, the late nights, the hard conversations, the steps into the unknown, are the death of your old self, making way for the life God has planned. Every time you choose faith over fear, obedience over comfort, purpose over popularity, you're planting seeds that will grow into a harvest you can't yet imagine. Your dangerous power thrives in this sacrifice, because it's in the letting go that you find the strength to hold on to what truly matters. Let me tell you about Marcus, a mechanic from Phoenix who felt called to mentor young men in his neighborhood. At 42, he was comfortable in his routine, but the vision of guiding kids away from trouble kept him awake. Sacrifice meant giving up his Saturday mornings, his one day to rest. He took the 3rd step, taking one tangible action, and started a weekly meetup at a local park, teaching basic car repair to 5 teens. That sacrifice grew into a program that's now mentored dozens, with some of those boys becoming mechanics themselves. Marcus's dangerous power wasn't in his skill, it was in his willingness to sacrifice for a greater purpose. What are you being called to sacrifice, chosen one? What comfort is God asking you to trade for impact? The enemy fears your sacrifice because he knows it's the fuel that makes your dangerous power unstoppable. He'll tempt you with shortcuts, with distractions, with reasons to stay where it's easy. But shortcuts lead to dead ends, and distractions steal your destiny. Your dangerous power is forged in the crucible of sacrifice, where your yes to God outweighs your no to the world. Philippians 3:8 says, "I consider everything a loss because of the surpassing worth of knowing Christ Jesus my Lord." Your sacrifices aren't losses, they're investments in a purpose that will outlast you, a legacy that will shine forever. Right now, the spiritual realm is pulsing with energy. Angels are dispatching resources, scrolls are being unsealed, and the enemy is scrambling because your dangerous power is no longer a theory, it's a reality. You're not just a dreamer, you're a doer, a warrior, a light bearer. Your authority, your sacrifice, your obedience. They're rewriting the story of your life and the lives of those around you, but it all hinges on your commitment to stay the course, to keep moving, to keep claiming the mantle God has given you. If this is resonating deep in your soul, don't hold back. Type, "I claim my divine authority" in the comments below. Your declaration is a weapon, a signal to heaven that you're embracing your dangerous power with every fiber of your being. Share this video with someone who needs to hear it, because your sacrifice could be the key that unlocks their purpose. Your dangerous power isn't just for you, it's for the world waiting for your light, the generations waiting for your legacy, the kingdom waiting for your yes. Let's talk about vision, because your dangerous power isn't blind. It's guided by a divine blueprint, a picture of what's possible when you align with God's plan. Habakkuk 2:2-3 says, "Write down the revelation and make it plain on tablets, so that a herald may run with it. For the revelation awaits an appointed time. It speaks of the end and will not prove false." Your dangerous power is tied to this vision, a glimpse of the impact you're called to have, the lives you're meant to touch, the world you're destined to change. But vision isn't passive, it's active, requiring you to see beyond what's in front of you, to imagine what God sees when He looks at you. Picture a canvas, vast and blank, waiting for the first stroke of paint. That canvas is your life, and your dangerous power is the brush in your hand. The colors are your faith, your courage, your obedience, and the masterpiece is the vision God has placed in your heart. Every step you take, writing that goal, reaching out, acting on your dream, is a stroke that brings the vision to life. The enemy wants to keep your canvas blank, to convince you that your vision is too big, too risky, too far off. But God says your vision is right on time, perfectly sized for the power He's given you. Let me share a story about Grace, a retiree from Savannah who saw a vision of feeding the homeless in her city. At 65, she had no funding, no team, just a burden that wouldn't let her rest. She took the first step, writing her goal: serve 10 meals a week by Christmas. That led her to partner with a local diner, using their leftovers to feed 15 people every Sunday. Today, Grace's initiative feeds hundreds weekly, with volunteers from across the city joining her. Grace's dangerous power wasn't in her resources. It was in her vision, her refusal to let the blank canvas of her retirement stay empty. What vision is God painting on your canvas, chosen one? What masterpiece is waiting for your first stroke? Your dangerous power thrives when you hold fast to your vision, when you refuse to let circumstances blur the picture God has shown you. Those 3 steps are the tools that keep your vision clear, the actions that turn possibility into reality. Don't add more steps. Trust the ones you've been given. Your power isn't in complexity, it's in consistency, in showing up for the vision God has entrusted to you. The world is waiting for your masterpiece, for the impact only you can make, for the light only you can shine.